Alright, welcome back to season 4 of our show, and today we're showing you a classic chicken salad along with a southern buttermilk fried roll. Let's show you how to do it. Alright, like I said, we're showing you a classic chicken salad. So what you're going to need is a couple of chickens. Now I smoked these 2 chickens. You could use regular chickens if you want, but any leftover chickens, or you could smoke them the day before or cook them the day before, work perfect. So we're going to move these to the side. I got some onions, celery. You're also going to want the leaves from the celery as well too. I got a green bell pepper that's nice and cut up. I got some all-purpose flour. There's 2 cups here. So what you're going to need, buttermilk and some lard. That's right, lard. Let's get it going. I'm going to move these chickens off to the side. And the first thing I'm going to do is get my flour over on the table. So this is the lard, and we're just going to drop in a couple of pieces. Now this is definitely a southern bread because we usually do everything in lard. Alright, we're going to just mix it into the flour just like you would do a biscuit. Just kind of break it up in there. Just like that. Now in this flour I have 1 tablespoon of baking powder and just a little bit of salt. That's it. Alright, so now that we got that mixed up, just incorporate it, and with our buttermilk we go. And you just want to mix it until it forms a dough. So let's put that over here, and I'm going to start mixing that in. You can judge it out. I don't really measure anything, I just kind of put it in, and when I need more, I add more. So I'm going to start off with just a little bit of that buttermilk. Now if you don't want to use buttermilk, you could use regular whole milk. It works just as good. But that buttermilk gives it that light and fluffy feeling in there. I think I'm going to need a little bit more of that buttermilk, but just bring it together and make sure you knead it first. Because if you go overboard, you're going to have to start adding more flour. And you really don't want to do that. So just make sure you really knead the flour before you bring it back in. Alright. Let's see how that's going to treat us. And you know when you got it right when you form this together and you start to mix it, it all should just fall off of your fingers. So I think I got the right ratios now. And I'm just going to bring it together. This is something that my mom and my grandma used to make all the time. Anytime we had chicken on the grill or if we smoked chickens, it was always our go-to for the summertime. You know, back in those days we didn't want to heat up the house and everything was cooked in advance, and we would turn a lot of meals that we made in the house into basically summertime meals. And this is one of them. And I'm sure for a lot of people, you guys can definitely say the same, because your parents didn't want to heat up that house either, or grandparents. Those were the good old days when everybody went outside and played, right? Now today everybody's sitting inside in front of a computer, not playing at all, or just playing on the computer. Times have changed. Alright, so we got this together. We're just going to mix it a little bit more. So you just knead it until it falls off your hands. Once you know it's coming off your hands clean like that, you're pretty much good to go. So we're going to take this. We're just going to boil it up into a bowl and let it rest for about 20 to 30 minutes. Until you want to do that. Alright, so now we brought this together. I'm just going to go like this. Bring it up into a bowl. I'm going to pinch the bottom. Go back in with it. Just like you would do any dough. And just like that, I'm going to set this to the side. And we're going to cover this with a damp rag. And then we're going to meet you right back here. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so we got our bread resting. Let's get our veggies done. I'm going to bring in a bowl. Now what I'm using today is onions. Like I said, this bell pepper here. We got some celery here, and it's a very basic, simple salad. Later on, we're going to bring in our mayo. So, an onion. Judge it out. These are 2 chickens. You say to yourself, we got a lot of bone in here. How much onion will I need in here? So if I put these 2 onion in here, you could just look at it. Way too much onion. Judge it out the same way with the pepper. How much pepper will I need in here? Not that's way too much, so just judge it out like that. So what I'm going to do is take our onion. Now when you're making a chicken salad, especially a classic chicken salad, it's very important how you slice your ingredients here. So our onions, you need to be fine with them. How many chicken salads have you ever had where you're pulling chunks of onion out of your mouth? Probably none. So we're going to treat this the same way. Nice classic chicken salad. Just make sure the onions are fine. You know, this is a great way to use leftover chicken. If you have chicken breast, you can actually add some of the chicken breast in here too as well. But basically, use the entire chicken, because the entire chicken together in one is going to give you a phenomenal flavor. So that's how fine you want your onions. Almost like a fine chop, like in tuna fish. If you're making tuna fish, you want the onions the same exact way. Alright, so now we got our onions here, and into the basket they go. Get all the onions in. And again, you're going to feel it out. Here's our bell pepper. And with the bell peppers, I'm not really sure how many of these I'm going to use, but we're going to see. And the bell pepper is the same way too. I want a fine chop on those bell peppers. Again, the last thing you want to do is pull peppers out of your mouth. So we're going to show you this one, and then we're going to start pulling that chicken right after that celery. Alright, so about there is the way you want it. And I might throw a little bit later on in. I'm not sure, but for right now, I think that's about as far as I'm going to take it. Because we're not skimping on the chicken. If you're skimping on the chicken, you might need some more of these vegetables. Alright, let's get our celery in. Now, a lot of people don't use the leaves, but the leaves are actually the best part. So let's just cut those off. Let's just cut this. And I always incorporate the leaves. They give a beautiful flavor, texture. And just make sure you put them in there. A lot of you guys don't realize it, but that's what people did back in the days. They put the leaves in. You guys just never saw it. Alright, so I'm going to take these like this. I'm just going to give them just a little rough chop. Feel it out. Take a look at them. It's about where I want it. And now our salad's coming together. And as far as the celery goes, a little bit of celery goes a long way. So you won't need too much celery. I'm going to use most of the green and not the ends of the celery. That's what we're looking for. And I'm going to use the smaller pieces of the celery. Just like that. And give those a fine chop too. Doesn't take long to have a bunch of veggies come together. It doesn't take long to have the vegetables overpower your dish too. And always season and taste at the end. So just a little bit of celery. That's going to bring out that little bit of crunch and the freshness. You got the leaves in there already, so you won't need much. All right, so here it is. I'm going to give that a little mix in here and see where we're at. And that's going to be a good ratio to our chicken. All right, let's get a chicken onto the bench. Now this is the hard part to a lot of people, is taking chicken off of the bone. So the first thing I'll do, I'll just come down, split this chicken in half. Let's just give that a little chop. And then half it is. So if you work with half of the chicken and you keep a bone pile, you'll be better. So I'm just going to pull this apart. I'm going to pull my wing off as if you were eating it. And we're just going to start to pull this apart. Now I'm going to put a little bit of the skin in here, but not a lot. And you really want to fine chop it, so make a skin pile. And then you're just going to take your bony pieces like that, your timely pieces, and put them off to the side over here. And then just start working on your breast meat. Now this has got bones in it, so you want to take your time. So what I do is I look for all my bones first. I'll pull everything off. In the bucket it goes. And then afterwards, I do all my chopping. So just take it and start to look around. And just be very careful because you don't want any bones inside your food. Whoop, wrong pile. So we'll put that over there. And just feel around. The cartilage, the bones, you don't want that in there. So just make a little pile and just make sure you take your time peeling through this. So just start with your breast first. Get all the meat off of there. And then you can move on to your legs and your wings. If you guys know how to eat a chicken on the bone, then you definitely know how to pull it off the bone. All right, I'm going to get this all pulled up, and we're going to meet you right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, so we got our chicken pulled, and now it's time to bring this together. So here's our chicken. Let's get it back on the cutting block again. And now what we're going to do is chop it. So let's start cutting. And I made sure I went through this and got all of the bones out. A couple of pieces of skin. You don't need much in there because this will kind of jam up your world if you put too much skin, because you're going to be pulling skin out of your sandwich there, or however you have it. If you put it on lettuce and just have it plain, it's just not a very pleasant thing to pull out a bunch of skin. Let's get it chopped. Now I'm not going to take this down to a cat food consistency because we're not feeding the cats, but you want to get a good chop on here. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Just make sure you don't have any gigantic pieces coming out of there. And just look around. So I'm almost there. And just take your time. You know, you can always tell when somebody took their time and put love into a chicken salad, because you can taste it in each bite. Each piece is about the same, and it's just a beautiful piece. All right, I'm gonna pick that up. I got a nice clean table here, why not? All right, now back in the basket it goes, and as you're going back in, just look around. See if you see anything that you don't like. You can just give it a final chop. But that's how you want your pieces, like that. You still want to see your chicken. You don't want to just pulverize it. Definitely not a good thing. I'm going to look around. And you're checking for last minute skins, bones, anything that could be in there. And just make sure you're looking and feeling around. All right. I think we're pretty good. And please, take your time with this. Any chicken salads, always take your time with it, because bones are a big concern. And if you're really concerned about bones and you don't know how to pull chicken, just buy some boneless chicken. Then you can cut it up and be done with it. All right, so we got that there. I'm gonna just turn this cutting board right around. Put this bowl right back on here. And now we're gonna bring in our celery, our peppers, and our onion. And watch how we're gonna do this. Just gonna put it in. Give that bowl a toss. Make sure your ratios are right. Wow, that smells so good. You just don't want too much of anything in here. See, there's a little big piece of celery there. I want it out of there. I'm gonna give it a toss. And I think I'm gonna go in with all of it. I think my ratios are right on point. A little flour part over there. All right. So now we're ready for some seasoning. Paprika. I'm gonna go in with just a little bit. And again, a little black pepper. Now the black pepper was on the chicken, so that's why I said again, it's because it's in there. Let's give that a little toss. And I'm gonna go in a little bit more paprika. We can put some on the top. And just a pinch of black pepper this time around, maybe 2 pinches. And feel it out. All right, so now we're bringing in our mayo. Use whatever mayo you like. This happens to be Hellmann's. I never use Miracle Whip because it's just too much sugar in there. And to me, Miracle Whip is just not real mayonnaise. So if you're not gonna make your own, use a good one. I'm sticking with Hellmann's. All right, so we're gonna get that in there like that. And just mix it up. Now the thing with chicken salad, you don't want it too dry, and you certainly don't want it bleeding out with mayonnaise. So it's got to be that sweet spot with chicken salad that I find. If it's too much mayonnaise when it's in the fridge can just turn to water on you real quick. So that's why you want to have your right consistency in here and just get it right. You can always go back in and refreshen this with mayo, but you can't take it out of here. So that's almost where I want it. Now I'm having this tonight, this evening, and if I was serving this tomorrow and I wanted this in the fridge, I'd leave it right here. Leave it right at this stage right here. I wouldn't put any more in here. And I freshened this up right before I served it. Well, tonight I'm just gonna put a little bit more in, just like that. And that's gonna be spot on. And that's where I want my chicken salad to be, right there. And give it a turn. And at this point, I got my consistency right. I'm just gonna give that a taste. Spot on. Smells excellent. Tastes excellent. All right, we're gonna chill this out and we're gonna meet you on the stove, fry up that bread, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, our chicken salad's in the refrigerator chilling out. Let's show you the bread part. Here we go. So this rested about a half hour. That's what it took for everything, the chicken to get cut up. And now we're just gonna make some balls out of here. So what I like to do is I'm just gonna pinch just a couple of pieces off of here. I'm just gonna ball them up. About yeast size right there. I'll go like this. Just put my hand in the middle. And that's gonna help when we're frying these up. So again, we'll just pinch some balls. Now this is 2 cups of flour, so you should get about 12 to 15 out of here. I'm gonna put them like that. Then we're gonna finish the rest of these and we're gonna meet you onto the stove, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we go. 2 to 3 minutes per side, and we're just gonna get them in here. Make sure your oil is not too hot when you drop these in. And you can just get all of them right in. And yes, we are frying in lard. The healthiest way to fry. Alright, now we're just gonna move some of these over. Like I said, you don't need much time, maybe about 2 minutes, 3 minutes aside. And that's it. Now I use this parchment paper and I slit them off of the tray that I have over here and the parchment paper. This way I'm not dirtying up anything. And I just put my utensils right on top of there. And you just want to take a look at them and just turn them over. Like I said, 2 to 3 minutes aside is all you need. Let's just get these over. Almost looks like they're bacon. All right, we're going to finish these up and we're going to meet you back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, that's it. Time to pull these out of here. I'm going to pull out the smaller ones first and then work my way on to the bigger ones. But I do like them nice and tanned up. So get them nice and tan. Make sure when you're straining these, you just strain them over top of the other one. This way, if you do drop them, you're not going to splash yourself. Or just get a spider. All right. We're going to get these out of here. And again, we're going to meet you right back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, so these are out of the grease already, and I'm just going to show you some of these. Just going to take one. They're hot. I'm just going to open one up for you, just to show you the inside of these. Look at that. Woo, that's hot. Light, flaky. I mean, who needs biscuits when you got this guy? Let's give that a bite. Excellent. We're going to meet you guys right back here and get plated up, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we are. Season 4's chopping block. Chicken salad. Let's show you what we got. Look at that. So first thing we'll do, we'll get right into it and plate this up. Let's get this off to the side. And let's just bring in a nice summertime dish. So this is how I plate this. So I'm going to take this and just get it onto the platter. And I like to use one side of the platter, because you know all your chicken salad's on that one side. Those little chickens made a lot. So we're going to make that about even. Right there. Maybe a little bit more on top. Get some height on here. just like that. Let's get this off to the side. So now we've got our bread. We're just going to get our bread in on the scene here. Just bring it around. If you get some in the chicken salad, don't even worry about it. You're going to eat it anyway, so. Look how nice that looks. Let's see if I can get some more of that on there. All right, we're just going to garnish. So I got some paprika here. Get a little bit on top here, just for some color. And for those of you guys that don't know, paprika is just sweet dry chili. That's all that is. That's why it's lacking on some flavor sometimes when you taste it. All right, so we got that there. And we're just going to garnish with some greenery as we usually do. I'm going to get a little greenery over here. And some on the end here. And just make it pretty looking for the summertime. I'm just going to get another stem over here. There you have it. And I'm going to use one on the back end here. Let's just break that off. This way it looks even. And one on this side. And there you have it. Let's just spin that around. Now you have a beautiful summertime chicken salad. All right, let's just plate up and see how this tastes. Save some more chicken salad for myself here. Why not, right? It's no fun if the chef can't have some. All right, so now we got that. And I'm going to get one of these beautiful pieces of bread. And let's give that a shot. Beautiful. Let's try that bread. That is beautifully outstanding. All right, we're going to get situated. We're going to meet you guys right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is, a beautiful smoked chicken salad. And we serve that right on side of some beautiful southern buttermilk bread rolls. Pan fried. Can't go wrong with this meal. And if you like this video, more videos about to come, give a like, hit that bell. This way you get all those videos first. Thank you, as always. We enjoyed having you. With no further ado, gotta get that little Pitmaster taste there.